Hi everyone, my name is Mark Ironson and I thought I'd go through a few top tips on presenting your business to a joint venture partner or to an investor. And there's kind of 5 documents to have at hand. The first one is the business plan, then the operations manual, then the company brochure, then the deal brochure, then the Bragg File. And I'll run through them kind of step by step so you know exactly what I mean. So what's the business plan? Well, the business plan is how you plan to do things. So it's how you plan to do your business, what you plan to do, how are you going to take the money, what sort of deals are you going to do, what sort of properties are you going to go after. All of that type of stuff is in the business plan. And we use a plan from the Prince's Trust, which is arguably the best in the country because it was written for the Prince. They're not going to write him a bad one, are they? So, and it's actually specifically used for gaining funding from the Prince, or the Prince's Trust. So it's a pretty good one. And ours is based on that. And the next part then is the operations manual. Now, if the business plan is this is what I plan to do, the operations manual is this is how I do it. And the operations manual has got every task, every system, every process, all of other stuff you do day to day of how, and sometimes it's called laying out the stall. So this is how I lay out the stall in my business. And the operations manual is fairly simple to put together, but it takes a little while. So you do it as you go rather than try and do it as an elephant. So how do you eat an elephant? One chunk at a time and all that sort of stuff. So do it as you go so it's not a mammoth task. Then the next document is your company brochure. And your company brochure can be no more than about 8 pages, doesn't need to be much more than that. And let's give you a format just to get you going. So you could copy any of the major corporates like BMW, the car manufacturers, or you could copy the pharmaceutical industries or IBM or anyone like that. Just get their company brochure and have a look at them. Now, quite a few of them follow this format, which is start with a big picture. Why invest in the Midlands? Why invest in London? Why invest in wherever you are as the county, the region, the area, etc. And you can get that information from council websites. You can get it from Wikipedia. You can get it from development corporations in the area. So you can get quite a lot of information that's copy-paste stuff. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And then come down, that's the big area, and then come down to the more macro area. So why invest in the city or the town that you operate in? And again, you can get those details from Up My Street, from Mouseprice, from Wikipedia, from the council. This stuff already exists, it's already out there. And then when you've done that, come down to what you do in your area, and that's a combination of the ops manual and the business plan into your company brochure. And in the company brochure, it's called evergreening. We don't put dates on it, we don't need to particularly, because you can keep that forever. Because your business is going to, once you've got a model, the model stays. So you can keep that for as long as you own your business. So nice pictures in there, not before and afters in the company brochure, because it's got to look nice and pleasant. Now, and that's what an investor could take away with them. So let's go next step, next document, then the deal brochure. So the specific deal that you want funding on, or the specific deal that you want to sell or to trade or for someone to buy. That's the deal brochure. Again, could be 8 pages. I'm just giving you a format here as ideas. No more than 8 pages. The first page could be the first pages of a brochure. So the cover page may be one picture of the property or the target, and then the second page could be all the financial details, the fees, the rental income, the valuation of the house, the purchase price, etc. All that sort of stuff. The next page can be the accommodation details. So what has it got? How many bedrooms? What size is the kitchen? What's the outside like? What's the inside like? What's the construction like? So that's all the accommodation details. The next page can be pictures of the property. Well, I put 2 pages of pictures of the property, but half a dozen pictures. So living room, dining room, bedroom, outside, front and back, that type of thing. All of them, those sorts of things. And be honest, be straight, because investors do buy dumpy properties because they want to add value to them and make profit. So they do buy horrible properties. So the next page would be sales comps. So sales comps in the area. You don't have to be totally accurate. You're not a surveyor. We're just giving an idea of what the investor's buying. And 3 is good. 3 areas within a quarter mile or so is good enough for an investor brochure. Then the next one would be the rental comps. And the rental comps, again, we're not surveyor. We're not trying to prove the rental in the area. We're just giving a ballpark. So if it's a 2-bed flat, it'll be about this, and that's all right. 3 of them on the next page. And again, just take them from Rightmove. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just stuff that's already out there. And the next page then can be the neighbourhood profile. And that's, again, that's taken from your company brochure, from the lower, the macro part of your company brochure. That's the neighbourhood profile that's in there to give the investor an idea of what's around the area, how many businesses are there, what type of residential properties are there, what's the average value, what are the flip from flops and that sort of stuff. This information already exists. And then the last page then would be the back page, and that's concluding your brochure. Now the next document we looked at, or we spoke about, was the Bragg File. And the Bragg File is where you put your scruffy pictures in. That's the before and after stuff. Remember, lots of adverts work on, I've got a little bit of grey hair, so the grey hair and, the dyeing of the hair adverts, before and after grey, and then your brown or whatever it is, or the transformation between two things, the skinny guy and the guy in the gym, all muscle bound and stuff. That's a before and after pic. So on a property brochure or Bragg File, you can put, this is a property I bought before that was scruffy, and this is how I've made it nice. Before and after pictures give you credibility of past projects that you've done before. And you can include numbers, you don't have to reveal secrets, but include numbers on there and stuff for an investor to see what you've done. Gets you credibility, the Bragg File, and your history. So they're the kind of 5 documents. So we've covered the business plan, this is what I plan to do. We've covered the ops manual, this is how I do it. We've covered the company brochure, this is what the company does. The deal brochure, this is what I'm selling right now. And the Bragg File, this is what I've done in the past. So those 5 documents in an investor meeting or a JV meeting will get you funding, because anyone looking at them all, as long as it's, you're not hard selling or anything, will find that you're a legitimate business, you're doing property, you've done some before, you've got a deal on the table, and you'll get some money. Well, I hope that helped. My name is Mark Irons, and I'll speak to you soon.